Chasing happiness, running through the rain, turning all the little things into something great. With every heartbeat, we're finding our way. This is the moment, today's the day. Welcome back to another episode of Chasing Happiness. This week we are following on from last week's episode and discussing red flags and green flags in friendships. Chloe!
I think that we've both probably experienced both red and green flags. Obviously, green flags because we're both friends with each other, but definitely we've experienced a lot of red flags, I think, in friendships. One of the main ones that kind of sticks out to me is, do you know, those friends that feel like they need to dictate everything? As in, I mean, like, you don't get to have an opinion, you don't get to do your own
Mhm.
life, you have to do everything that they want and everything that they think is right for your life, do you know? I've experienced many of them in my life, you know, where like, you can't even have an opinion on something. You know, you might think differently to what they think, but their
Yeah,
opinion is right. I think that is a huge red flag for me. It just drives me bonkers that you can't just be two people that think differently but be friends, you know?
yeah,
It just annoys me that there's people out there that feel like they can have that control and that like that they can dictate people. So that would be my main like red flag is if I felt like I couldn't be myself, I suppose, around someone that I felt like I had to nearly become a sheep and follow like what
yeah.
they think and feel and want me to do. Um, yeah, that's my main red flag. I feel like green flags. I think we are green flags. Well, to each other, anyways. Maybe to other people we are not
Yeah,
anyone's cup of tea, but to each other, I think the green flags that I always look out for in friendships are people that like listen. You need to be able to listen to me, especially if you're my friend, and listen without like judgment. You know, not that you feel like you can say things to a friend because I feel like we can speak quite openly and freely to each other without
Mhm.
having to like guard ourselves or like censor ourselves in a sense.
Or even when we think we do, like the thing I've kind of brought into you and Emma recently as well
Hmm.
is which Laura do you want?
Once, yeah,
Because it's some days you're not in a headspace for a
yeah.
heart and you literally just want me to be like, everything's roses and butterflies is going to be great.
Everything's perfect.
And
Yeah,
then there's days where you're like, you know what? I have the headspace. Give me heart.
yeah.
Give me everything. So I think that there's being aware of that as well because it's not, at least for me when I'm doing it, I'm not trying to do it from a judgment point of view.
Mhm.
I'm trying to go, you're stuck. We can
Yeah.
see it. Come
Hmm.
out. Like I'm giving you my hand. I'm pulling you up. But there's
Yeah.
days where I'm aware. If you said it to
Hmm.
me, I'd be like, I want to hit you because I don't want to hear
I'm
it
gonna kill
today.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
want to hear it today. Like today, just tell me everything is great, fantastic, and you love me.
yeah.
Tomorrow, you can do that. So I give the option. So I think it's seeing that as well because and knowing, you know, like I'm not coming in with judgment. I'm literally going,
Mhm.
what do you need from me today?
Yeah,
And I'll give you
yeah.
that because you know that I have a different thought process then. Like if you're like, yeah, I just want nice Laura, I'm like, okay, you know
Yeah.
that's not what I'm thinking. I'm giving you what you need
But
today. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, because I do feel like that sometimes. I think you need that within friendship. I think you need a person that's going to be like, hold it, like that's BS. Like you need to cop yourself on. But then
Yeah.
you also need the person that's just going to stand back and go, I know that this isn't what they need, and I'm just going to be like the supportive, comforting friend
Mhm.
and I'm going to tell them what they need to hear. Because I think you need to be able to do that in friendships. Because I don't think all the time it can be like harshness and you need to do this and you need to
Yeah.
do this. And I don't think you can be all nicey nicey all the time either. Because I don't think that that just works in the real world. Because everyone's living their own lives and everyone has their own stuff going on. But you need people in your corner that are going to call you out on your crap. But you also need people that are going to back you 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that you need to find those kind of people because otherwise, I feel like it's just being a little bit fake, really, you know, because I feel like any of us can be like, oh, life is great, everything's fantastic all the time.
Mhm.
I don't feel like you're a true friend if you can't be like, hold it, you are just being an idiot right now, you know?
As long as you're doing it as well though, like I said, as in for ye know, even if I do come in and I am very harsh without giving ye the heads
Hmm.
up, I think it's not me trying to going back to your first point, trying to dictate. It's me going,
No.
I've seen a cycle that you can get into. Like
Yeah.
as a friend, I don't want you to do that. So I'm trying to go, are you sure? But
Are you
sometimes,
sure?
yeah, in my brain, that's what I'm doing. But sometimes my
Yeah.
mouth goes, you absolute dope. What are you at?
Mhm. Yeah.
you know? But I think that
Which is
you guys,
valid sometimes.
And that's what I mean. Like I think you get it's never from a judgment point of view when I do it.
Mhm.
Sometimes like I'm honest and I'm open. I am a judgmental person. But
Oh,
with,
we're human too.
yeah,
Like
but
whether
with
we're
my
friends or not, we're
friends,
still gonna be like,
yeah. But when my
again.
friends, when I'm being that harsh, it's always for me from a place of I've seen how bad things can get for you, and I want to
Mhm.
try and like bubble wrap you a little bit and be like, let's
Mhm.
not do that again.
Yeah,
Let's just
come
stay
back.
over
Come
here. The grass is not greener at that side. Come back
back.
over. you know.
Have you experienced like any huge red flags like within friendships that you've had maybe in the past that you're not friends with anymore? Like people that you've been like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
See, it's not that I can't answer this. It's because when we were trying to come up with our list of red and green flags throughout the week,
Hmm.
everything that I think can be a red flag, I think you have to be subjective. And that's what I've learned this week by going through
Hmm.
them. Because everything I felt can be a red flag. I was like,
Yeah.
I do that, but I
I
don't
am the
do
red
it.
flag.
Yeah, I am the red flag, but I don't do it from an intentional point of view. So things for me are like, I suppose I've always been kind of the fixer of the group or the mammy of the group. I love that people feel safe coming to me and being like, my life is crap, fix it. You know what I mean? I'm like, what can I do? Come on over. Um, but because I'm so aware that ye are all comfortable coming to me, I
Hmm.
don't tend to reach out. Like, obviously, if I know you're in a bad headspace, I'm like, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. Are you good?
Yeah. Yeah.
But on a daily basis, like, you're fine. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
do I need to text? Do I
All the time.
have
Yeah.
to, like, do I need to
Yeah.
talk to you today? Really? Um,
Mhm.
so I do have a tendency to just genuinely forget because I think, and I'm like
Hmm.
talking to them yesterday and they're in a really good mood. They're good for at least 4 to 5 days, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't
Mhm.
think to reach out.
But I can see why that could be a red flag for some people because
Yeah.
Fada was a kind of person that just constantly didn't keep reaching out, not for your reasons, like because there's always a point where there's going to be some form of contact between
Yeah.
us or between like my friend group. But I feel like if you're racing and constantly having to go after a person, then that
Yeah.
can become quite draining, and that is a red
Exactly.
flag
And that's
because
what I
it's
mean by I think
one-sided.
it's, yeah, that's what I mean by I think it's subjective.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in my head and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to use you for example, I'm like, I haven't heard from Chloe for 3 or 4 days now and she seemed a bit off 3 or 4 days
Yeah.
ago. I'll
Hmm.
reach out and I'm like, you good? You alive? What's going
Yeah.
on? And like we have sent
Yeah.
those voice notes of I haven't talked to you all weekend. What's going on?
Are
But
you alive?
yeah, but
Yeah.
when I'm not texting, it's not, oh, she doesn't care. She like it's me making the effort. You know,
Yeah.
I have a life. I'm
But then
probably just
also
not thinking.
Also, sometimes I feel like that's kind of probably a misconception, like with friendships. I feel like you view friends as a person that you can go to whenever you need, but I don't think you necessarily have to talk to that person 24/7 to be a good
Exactly.
friend. Which I feel like can be a misconception sometimes because I feel like you're like, I haven't spoken to that person in like 2 months. They're not my friend. But
Yeah.
life happens sometimes, especially when you become an adult and you get older. You have to accept that that person has their own life and you might be going through your own stuff and maybe you just don't have the headspace to reach out to each other. But when you do, then you can pick it back up again.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes that can be a misconception that people are like, oh, she hasn't spoken to me in 2 days. She's not my real friend, do
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I literally went for lunch Saturday with one of my friends who I haven't seen in I want to say like 3 or 4 months. But
Hmm.
like that, it's the odd text message here and there. And then I
Yeah.
said it. I was like, just in conversation, I was like, I know I haven't reached out much, but like, I hope you know, if you ever need me, if you ever need to chat, like, just ring. I'll answer the phone. If I don't, I will get back to you. I might
Hmm.
not do it that day because I genuinely do it. I respond in my head sometimes, and then I'm like, did I do
Hmm.
that? And it's like
That
two
has
days
happened.
later. Yeah, But I said it to her. She's like, no, I know absolutely that I can always reach out,
Yeah.
and that's the friendship we have. We don't. We actually discussed it where because we struggle so much with our social battery, if we were in
Hmm.
contact all day, every day, and meeting up all day, every day, us two specifically,
Yeah.
we would hate each other
Hmm.
because we're
Yeah.
just not that type of
Hmm.
people. We're both very, very similar. So we're really good friends
Hmm.
at a distance. Whereas I
Yeah.
know if I was like that with um, other people, like potentially like with you or with Brian, I know specifically with Brian, it's like, oh, what did I do now? She's mad. And I'm like, no, some
Yeah.
days I'm just recharging, you
Yeah.
know? Like your phone
But I
does
think that
too.
I think you need that though, but I think that there is different types of friendships too. Do you know, I do think that there is the people that you can't be around all the time, but that doesn't
Mhm.
mean that you're not necessarily any different friendship wise from me to her. You know, I think
Yeah,
that you have to have those different levels because you can't be on all the time. You can't
yeah,
have friends, people there all the time because it's just draining, like it is,
yeah,
because you have to give time and mental energy and just energy in general to a person. And if you had lots of people around all the time, I'd be gone insane anyways. I'm
yeah.
like, I can deal with my small few people and then that's enough.
Exactly. And for me, I am a person, I'm very, very honest about it. I am a
Mhm,
person that prefers being alone and prefers
mhm.
switching off. And I suppose
Yeah,
becoming a mum then and having two people constantly around you, constantly needing you,
it's overstimulated.
I have to tap out very, very quickly. So then I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my God, but Chloe message. And then Emma's messaging and like they both need to talk to me. But then now Brian's texting and then this person and I just hate humans.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at my phone and I'm like, there's messages from everyone. I just
Not
can't. Like, I
today.
just
Not
can't.
today.
And I
Yeah.
just can't. Yeah, like just, and they could be silly little messages. And I'm like, I just actually don't have the mental
Yeah.
capacity to be like, oh, da, 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 da. And like, it could be something about the weather. And I'm like, I actually can't. Like, I just can't even do that little bit of
Yeah.
conversation today because I'm just not there, you know? And that's okay too. I think that that sometimes can be seen as a bad thing in friendships, but I don't think that it is, you know?
No, no.
Yeah.
I think another huge red flag for me is, and maybe it's my stuff because I am potentially the bluntest person on the planet. I don't sugarcoat. And I do it intentionally. Again, it's not me, and you'll know this because I'm very blunt with you specifically. I never do it in a way to hurt your feelings, but I'd
No.
rather say it how I'm thinking it, and you know where you
Hmm.
stand, than have me sugarcoat it to you, but then say it to,
Yeah.
for example, like Emma, and then Emma say it back to you, and you're like,
Or like, having two friends
"What?"
talk behind your back, like
Yeah,
be
I'm
within the
like,
same group of them. Oh, that
yeah,
wrecks my head.
I'm going to say it straight up, and if you ask
Yeah.
me, I'm going to tell you honestly
Yeah.
because I'm
Like,
just
there's
not that
nothing worse
person.
being on the receiving end of that, like thinking, going, are they talking about me? Do you know,
Yeah,
are they saying something about me? Is there
and there
something I'm
has
missing out
been
on?
yeah, there has been cases with you where I'm like, I'm telling you this straight up because this person said this to me,
Mhm.
and I don't want you to think I was part of this conversation.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was there, I wasn't part of it, but
but
I
you're
know
not
it's going to
partaking.
get, yeah, but I know
Yeah.
this is going to be spun to try and make me the bad guy, and that's
Mhm.
where it comes from me. That I have been painted the bad guy before, and I'm like, dude, I'll tell you straight up. If you have a question, ask me.
Yeah.
I'm not shy, but I don't like, and I find it a red flag if it can't be received back. If you don't have the
Yeah.
respect to say it to my face, that bothers
Mhm.
me because I have had friendships fall apart because the person just hasn't spoken to me, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't
Yeah.
actually know like the reasons why we're not friends because they haven't respected me enough to do it. I'm like,
So, yeah.
yeah, if we're friends, you should be comfortable enough to say anything. And if
Hmm.
I'm
Really.
crap human, tell me. I'm okay with that. Like I'll take the heat because I'd
Hmm.
rather know it to fix it than question it.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than being there going, what did I do wrong? What have I
Yeah.
done wrong? Like they haven't reached out or they've just stopped talking to me and you have
Mhm.
no clue. And then you're left with answer like no answers and you're like, okay, I guess like you do internalize it a bit because you're like, I must just be a shit person if they don't want to be like if it's a long-term friendship and then it's just suddenly gone, you're like, what do I do now? Do you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. Because like I had this friend and we would have been like literally like sisters. If you saw one, you saw the other,
Mhm.
guaranteed. To this day, I don't know why we're not friends. And I
Yeah.
didn't know we weren't friends until my husband got a Snapchat from like as in it was on the stories and I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't have that. And I was like, oh, I'm deleted from Snapchat. So then I went
Yeah,
on
block.
to every other form of social media and was like,
Right.
okay, we're not friends anymore. Like, thanks for informing me. Great news. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can you go from saying someone's your best friend, all of this, to then the opposite of not respecting them enough to give them the opportunity to fix things?
But then to just cut you out of their life, like I think that that's quite harsh for a person that you would have called like a best friend
Yeah.
for anyone. I think it's quite harsh to just not give the person the decency of going, this is what's going on. We obviously just don't align anymore. Like
Mhm.
we have to go our separate ways, whether it's friendship, relationships, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't owe anyone anything, but I think it's just being a decent person to have that conversation, as hard
Yeah,
as it may be, just put it out there and be like, this is the reason why I just don't think that this is for the best anymore. But there
yeah,
is some people out there like that, your ex best friend or whatever, that just cut contact, and then you're just left there with all these questions.
yeah. Or at least
Mhm.
to even give the person, as I said, the opportunity to go, I'm sorry I did that and upset you. I wasn't even aware. Because for me,
Mhm.
like, it could be you're too blunt. Absolutely. Tell me, I can tone it down. I can't stop
Yeah.
it. That's who I am. But I can tone it
Mhm.
down. I can be more cautious around you. But if you don't tell me, how am I aware it's something that bothers you?
But
And
then I
it's
think that's
taken
also
me,
quite hard
yeah,
to have to tone yourself down around people. Like you should be able to just be yourself. Obviously, some people like not everyone's gonna like me or not everyone's gonna like you, but you'd hope that your closest and your
yeah,
nearest and dearest would be able to accept you at any kind of
yeah. That's
point,
that's what I was just gonna say. I think it's taken me a long time to be okay with full on me and
Yeah.
go, like, there's days where, like, with you I might be quiet, or with Brian I might be quiet, and that's just another version of me. But like
Mhm.
the majority of the time you get me just speaking and then going, did that even make sense? I don't know why I said, like, you get full
Yeah.
on Laura and you're fine
Mhm.
with it. I think it took me
Yeah.
a long time to realize, if I'm dimming my light for somebody else, are
Mhm.
they my true friends, or are they just filling a gap?
I
You know?
wouldn't think so. Like, well, I think now as well. I think, but that comes with getting older too. I do
Mm,
think that that is a huge thing because I think when you're younger, you feel like your friendship, will say friends, like you have lots of different kind of friends. But I think as you get older, it's when you find your real people that you're like, I can just 100% be myself. Because I feel like there can be when you're growing up, you try to be one person or you try to be another person for this person, and then it just becomes exhausting because it comes to a point where you're just putting on a front for all
yeah,
these different kind of people. Um, but definitely as you get older and you find your people like what we have, I think that you can just be yourself. And
yeah,
then you're like, oh, I can be any version of myself. Like I can be pissed off, I can be sad, I can be happy. And it doesn't matter. Like I can show this person anything and they're not gonna be like, I don't want to be friends with her anymore.
yeah.
You know?
I think a green flag then for me is kind of what we have with, like, our inner circle. I suppose,
Hmm.
like Emma, oh my God, the amount of notifications I get on a daily basis from her. Emma like this, Emma like this, Emma like this, Emma shared,
Hmm.
Emma shared. Same with Brian's, And like we have
Hmm.
other friends doing it. I just mean literally our inner circle, because even if I'm talking to somebody, they're like, Emma taught me, Brian taught me, Emma shared it, and
Hmm.
I'm like, these are the people, like, I feel like I can literally, like, I want to go out and go skinny dipping in every lake, but I want to do it in the middle of the day when everybody's watching because I need that kind of
Yeah.
attention. And you'd be
Hmm.
like, okay, go do it.
Okay,
Do
let's
you
go.
know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like any of us would ever stop the other person from dreaming their dreams, or
No,
try and make it like a bad dream and be like, oh, you're so stupid. That's not going to work.
no,
We
yeah.
might think it and be like, that's never going to happen. But in our, like,
Yeah.
in our heads, and we keep it there, and we're like, no, no, you got this. What do you need from me? Let's do it.
But you see, we back each other. That's
Yeah,
I think is a huge green flag, no matter what, unless it's dangerous or anything like that, or else we know we're going to end up getting hurt. Then we might speak up, but we'll back each other with
yeah,
anything. Yeah, they're like anything you want to do, cool, go do it.
yeah. But
We'll
even
be
like,
there on the side.
yeah, even you're going to know what I'm on about. Emma and Brian are going to know what I'm on about. Other
Mhm.
listeners will not know what I'm on about. But even with a life choice you made that I disagreed with, I was like, you sure? Are you sure this is what you want to do? And you were like, yeah. Like, right now, I'm so happy. And I'm like, she ain't, but she thinks she is. So, okay. And
Yeah.
then I was like, okay, I've asked it. This is what she wants, putting it behind me now.
Yeah.
What do you need from me? How can I help? And I did
Mhm.
everything, you know?
Yeah.
And
You
it was
pick back up
never,
maybe so.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was never, after that, like, even when you were like, probably shouldn't have, it was never me going, well, I did try and warn you. And we're
Yeah.
not like that as a group. We're not like, oh, well,
I
you
told you
know,
so.
yeah, we're like, you tried it, it didn't work out. Come on, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Let's fix this, let's pick it
Mhm.
back up. And I
Yeah.
think that for me is a huge green flag, finding people in your world that are so accepting of even the stupidest things you can do,
Yeah.
because they just want to see you happy.
Mhm. Yeah.
That they literally go, ugh, I don't want to do this, but yeah, okay, let's do it. It's fine.
Let's go.
Yeah, like, even with Emma and her sea swimming saunas, I don't want to do that, but
No.
okay, you know.
Let's give it a go. We'll try it.
Yeah, fine. Like, I'm going to be cold, and then I'm going to be hot and
Yeah.
sweaty, and then I'm going to be cold again. But okay, if it makes you happy, I'll do it. you
Basically, I
know.
think that even is a point in itself. we will try different things for each other because we know that we're not doing it to purposely make the person happy, but we're like, oh, this person would really like to do this. So I
Yeah.
feel like as their friend, I should at least give it a go. You know, we're not being like, I need to do this because they want to. But
Yeah.
we are looking at it being like, oh, they would love to. So we are going to be the friends that we are and be like, let's go, let's try it, you know?
Yeah.
I think we'll try things for each other. It might be outside of our comfort zone, but we'll do it for the other person because we want to, not because we feel like we need to.
Yeah. But even
Yeah.
like with us, for me and you, with the Reiki thing, I know that
Hmm.
there's a lot of people, if you're a churchgoer, you tend to not look down on Reiki, but question it a bit. It's not as
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
acceptable as what it is to the likes of us that aren't churchgoers. But even like with our friends that do go to mass and are big believers, they've never once made us feel like
No,
we're doing something we
we're
shouldn't be doing.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always been
Hmm.
like, oh, that's really interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the same with
Hmm.
us. We're not churchgoers. The church
Yeah.
probably would go on fire if either of us walked in.
Hmm. 100%.
But we've never turned around and been like, and you still go to mass? Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't care. Like, you do you
Yeah.
and have fun doing it. Just leave
Hmm.
me over here dancing in my corner being crazy because that's where I'm happiest, you know?
You see, I think that's why we click so well as friends, like all of us, because I think we're very much the kind of people that as long as you're happy, do what you want to do in life. I don't give a shit. Like whether you
Yeah.
believe in this, whether you believe in that, that's cool. That's on you. You go for it. And I think we're very similar in that sense. We mightn't all believe the exact same thing, but we have that same belief that do whatever you want, believe in whatever you want, as long as it makes you happy, we're good. Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're all very respectful then. It's like even when we were meeting Dave, we all came together to meet him in a way
Yeah.
that hopefully wasn't too overwhelming for him. But it
Awkward,
was,
maybe.
yeah, but it was a way like that we could all mesh, be like, this is who we are, this is how we are, this is the couples you
Yeah.
now have to deal with, whether you like it or not.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, take us as we are and just accept
Mhm.
it or shoot. But we've done that with like every person because
Yeah.
like Owen and Clive can talk because they talk farm. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd be friends outside of Emma and me being friends
No.
necessarily, or if would have even found each other and come upon each
Mhm.
other. But they can
Yeah.
do it because we're together, and it's the same
Mhm.
with Dave and Owen. They can talk
Yeah.
because like they
Mhm.
can talk sports and different things.
Yeah.
Would they have found each other without me and you being friends?
Mhm.
I don't know,
Probably
but
not.
all of us are very much like we're friends, so suck it up. You don't have to be
Get
best
on with it.
buddies. You don't have to swap numbers. You don't have to go up like this is what's
We're planning the
important.
summer holidays.
Yeah, do you know, like this is what's important. So you figure out a way to make it work as opposed to going, oh, like me going, oh, well, Owen doesn't like
I can't
you,
leave
so
you
I
here.
can't hang
Yeah.
out with you anymore. Like I'm not going to make an
Mhm.
effort because he'd rather I didn't. Or,
Mhm.
you know, I don't like this person. We're always very good at trying to include other people, even
Everyone.
if it's a friend,
Yeah.
like not even necessarily a relationship. Like
Yeah.
at Emma's hen, she was like, these are my friends. And we were like, they're now ours. Like we've
Excellent.
stolen
Yeah.
them and we're taking them with us.
Ours. Yeah.
You know,
They are coming home with us.
yeah, we try as a like that's our core group, but we try, I feel like, very hard to ensure that every aspect of our lives outside of each other, we also try
Mhm.
and include. Like even Emma with our kids, they may as well
Yeah.
be hers. Do you
Yeah.
know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't
Yeah.
stress.
Which
We
is
go to
great.
photo and I'm like, Emma's here, day off.
Mind them for us. Thank you very much.
You know, and I think for me that's a huge thing as well. Her not having kids yet,
Hmm.
but being
And still.
so supportive of us being
Yeah.
like, we have to do a family day, like we don't have sitters, we do it on our own.
Mhm.
And her just being like, yeah, okay, I'll help. I'll take them. I'll buy them donuts. Do you know?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that
But
is another thing.
I think that's the biggest green flag is we just support each other full stop
Yeah.
in anything we do. Do you know? I think that that is the biggest. I can't even
Yes, I
speak.
love it. um, so yeah, I think to sum it all up, how you know when you have found like true friends, real friends, or like just green flags in general, it's going to be the people that don't tear you down, the ones that are going to lift you up, the ones that will support your dreams as much as you
Mhm.
believe in them, and the ones that make you feel safe no matter what. Like you don't have to pretend
Mhm.
to be something, you don't have to dim your light or hide who you truly are just to be liked.
Mhm.
I think if you can find those people, that's when you know. Or even your
Yeah.
energy, like the ones when, like, if you feel drained walking away from a person,
Yeah.
question it. That's not saying don't be
They're
friends
not,
with them.
yeah.
It's just saying question why you're so exhausted walking away. Maybe they're just not charging you up fully and you need to
Yeah.
rethink a few things.
Definitely, yeah.
Do you know? If anybody has any other red or green flags that they can think of, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.